Okay. I just need a second. I'll get it together. Don't worry. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm 24. I have been diagnosed with chronic pain for about 2.5 years. It's a really long time. Any of you who have chronic pain probably know that, like, it seems like forever, and it also feels like yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but I have a really hard time remembering, like, when I wasn't in pain. Like, even like reminiscing on childhood and things, like it's a very hard thing to like think about not living with pain. Anyways, yeah, so I have no known condition. Haha! I've gone through so many countless exams and tests and met with doctors, and I got desperate, so I met a witch doctor and kinesiologist. She was a little crazy and not very helpful, but I learned a lot from her. She cleansed my aura. I feel like that was the best thing she did for me. So yeah, I've seen a lot of specialists. I've racked up a lot of medical debt over the years. It's a lot. It's a lot to handle. But I found nothing. No one has found anything, actually. With all that being said, it's very difficult to treat nothing when there's definitely something. I've spent the last 2 years just kind of trying to figure out as much as possible, and what I know is that I have chronic knee pain, so it affects everything. It affects my ability to walk, to sit, to stand, to get off the floor. I look like I'm 80 trying to get off the floor to this day. It's pretty sad, honestly. It looks pretty terrible. It all started, I didn't know what to do. I kind of just thought I had like overdone it. I work a lot, and sometimes when I work a lot, I work like 17 plus hour days. And so I worked 17 hours, 3 days in a row, and it was quite a lot to handle. And so I thought that was kind of it. I just really overdone it. And so I gave it a couple weeks to like recuperate and heal, and nothing happened. So I went and saw a doctor, and of course they tell you like the worst things in the world. Like, they're like, oh, it might be MS, it might be this, it might be that, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And then you don't die, and that's sometimes almost worse. So, yeah. So then I did the whole like narcotics route. That was interesting. Narcotics for like 9 weeks, 8.5 weeks, something like that. Obviously, when you have chronic pain, as any of you know, or any of the people who support people with chronic pain know, depression is the biggest thing in your life. That's all you think about. You think about death, and you think about dying, and you think a lot about why you exist. It's a lot of thinking about depression, and it's not really good. It's usually very negative. It's usually like worst case scenario. You're like, you know, 1 minute you're fine, and then the next minute like you're sad, and then the next minute you're like, I have no friends, and why do I exist? And it's a very quick progression down that rabbit hole. Even thinking about depression, like going back, I feel pretty good today, to be honest. But most days, I still have to wrestle with the idea of depression. Like, even just days, like, you feel bad just for like the day, and you know it might go away tomorrow, but you're not convinced, and so it just kind of all spirals out of control, and then you end up crying on your couch. And that's life. Long story short, I found a few things that have helped, but treating an unknown condition is really difficult, so mostly I just treat things with food. Food's a big trigger for me. I'm not allergic to anything. I don't have any allergies, but I test negative for all allergies, I should say. But there's definitely foods that are so much worse for me than other foods, particularly anything that's like delicious, like food, like gluten, dairy, or yeah, sugar. Sugar is really bad. It's so terrible, but it's so delicious. So, you know, some days you just need to eat donuts, and that's okay. Yeah, so I primarily focus on diet, and then sometimes I'll focus on, like right now I'm seeing a physical therapist, which is super helpful. He's great. Shout out to Seth. He's super, super awesome. He does a really great job. So I'm doing physical therapy, so I exercise every day, and it's really quite a lot, and I hate it so much. But it does make me feel better. sometimes. So I'll do that. I see a counselor. I've seen a counselor since January because, quite honestly, your mental space is really poor and people around you are so emotionally attached that they can't really help you think about not being depressed. So seeing a counselor, super helpful. I don't know, maybe you should check it out. See if it's right for you. I also focus on stupid things that make me really happy. I don't know if any of you have read Jordan Peterson's book, but I do pet cats a lot. And if you haven't read Jordan Peterson's book, I'm not crazy. He talks about petting cats. And I go on walks a lot. I go on a walk every single day because when I'm outside, I feel better. Even if I can't walk that far, I'll just like sit outside, and that's pretty helpful. That's pretty much all I have to say. That's pretty much all you need to know about me. I'm very interested actually. I'm very interested to figure out your journey to, I can't say healing because I don't really have healing, and sometimes there's not healing. Like sometimes healing doesn't really happen. So I guess more or less I'd be interested to know about how you stabilize your life in the midst of chaos. Particularly chronic pain chaos. Yeah, shoot me your ideas. What do you guys do? How do you handle things? What's your trigger points? What are stupid things that you also do to feel slightly better? Also, you should like, comment, and subscribe to my videos because I think they're kind of cool.